Okay.
The Doomguard was a powerful demon dating all the way back to the very first Warcraft game. In Warcraft 1, they were the only demons known to us, simply called the Demon. Their general appearance stayed mostly the same all the way from Warcraft 1 to Warcraft 3.
I actually forgot all about that.
With minor alterations here and there to become closer to the Doomguards that we know today.
Yeah, the Doomguards
and eventually they branched off and created all the other demons we have in lore, making the Doomguard the first ever demon in Warcraft.
Yeah.
In Warcraft 1, the demon were among 2 summoning spells
Warcraft
the Warlocks
2,
had.
isn't it?
The other...
Like, I'm like 90% sure this is Warcraft 2, because I used to play this game all the fucking time. Yeah, this is pretty much Warcraft 2. I'm 100% sure. But, actually not 100, but I'm like 90% sure.
Third being Summoned Spider. To summon the demon, the Warlock would need to sacrifice their own bodies for the demon to take form, to then be guided by the Orc Spirit from beyond the grave. The Orc Spirit perishing if the demon was destroyed. Within all the Warcraft games, the Doomguard has been shown as a massive, muscular melee fighter.
He's a big boy.
Usually depicted with a large sword or using their claws.
Exactly.
Even within WoW, we have Doomguards usually depicted in combat using large weapons instead of flinging spells. However, the Warlock's version within WoW has mostly been a spellcaster. Originally, the Doomguard had a long, difficult class quest, much like the other demons.
I've never even thought of this.
The quest started with you going into the Blasted Lands to find Dial the Decrypted, located on an altar surrounded by elite demons, likely to kill you many times as you approached. You were then given your first quest, Prison's Bindings, which required you to travel to Dire Maul and recover 15 satyr blood from the wild spawn satyrs within the Warpwood Quarter. You could solo this, but it was very difficult, so most chose to do this in a group,
this is the way
as you needed to kill many of the mobs to get this quest done over multiple clears.
I might take a drink real quick. I gotta take a drink. I gotta get another soda. I do want to say, though, I feel like back then, they designed quests to make sense, and now they design quests to be efficient. Like, the quest actually making sense is, like, you know, secondary.
The other quest you obtained was the Prison's Casing, which required going to Dark Whisper Gorge,
we went there.
a demon-infested area in the southern area of Winterspring. The demons here were also max-level elites, so it was best to come with a group, as you needed to gather 5 tiers items, but it could be soloed if really needed.
Obviously.
The next step was to return to Dial back in the Blasted Lands, where you would hand in this quest. This led to the next and final quest, Suppression. You needed to find a Doomguard commander nearby. These large elites were surrounded by many other demons that you needed to clear, as to not pull extra mobs. After that, you would then approach the Doomguard and summon the Crystal Prison, and begin the Enslaving Ritual, which would aggro the Doomguard to you as you channeled the spell, much like the Hunter's Tame Beast. However, unlike Tame Beast, you did not require aggro on the target, so a nearby tank could pull the demon's aggro from you, and you could continue the enslavement. This was basically required, as the Doomguard could cast War Stomp, stunning you and stopping the cast, or could just outright kill you with the elite's high damage.
That's the way it should be.
Once the cast was complete, the quest turned
really
in,
hard to do.
You would gain the spell to summon the demon, and an offhand item that gave stam and health regen. Or you could just farm the Grimoire of Doom, a rare drop from specific demons that could be sold on the auction house.
What the fuck? Really?
Instead of having to do the long quest line. Funny thing about this, the book was actually added 3 major patches before the quest line was, meaning some already had the spell by the time the quest came out. This demon had a powerful Rain of Fire attack, a Dispel, a Cripple that slowed enemies' attack and movement speed, and War Stomp, an AoE stun. However, just like the quest, summoning the demon is not as simple as casting a spell. This spell had a 1-hour cooldown that required a demonic figurine reagent. You need to begin the spell, placing the figurine in front of you, then you would begin channeling into a portal. 4 other members of your party would then also need to channel into the portal, and much like the Warcraft 1 spell, the Doomguard required a sacrifice. Randomly, one of the 5 channelers would be killed, even possibly the Warlock, and a Doomguard would then be summoned.
So you used to be able to do this, right? Is you would use you'd take an item. Yeah, this was fucking amazing. You would take an item, and then you would use that item, and you would summon a Doomguard. It would kill a random player. And people did this in Goldshire. Because whenever the Doomguard would spawn, it would be hostile, and the Warlock would have to enslave it. And I remember this was very, very common. I saw this shit happen all the time, and they just let it run wild and kill people. It was amazing.
4 other members of your party would then also need to channel into the portal, and much like the Warcraft 1 spell, the Doomguard required a sacrifice. Randomly, one of the 5 channelers would be killed, even possibly the Warlock.
Of course.
And a Doomguard would then be summoned. The demon would then quickly begin to attack the players, as it needed to be enslaved under the Warlock service.
There it is.
Then, the demon was yours, unless it resisted the enslavement, or broke out of the enslave a few minutes later.
Right, of
Then
course.
you would need to rush out another enslaved demon cast. This is why some Warlocks would cast Curse of Shadows on the demon first, before enslaving it, to lower its resistances to shadow magic, and give enslaved demon a higher chance to work and not break early.
There it is.
The Doomguard, like the Infernal Warlock summon, was quite the feat, and fun to troll low-level players in towns, as just summoning the demon would kill nearby players. However, since the Infernal had an AoE that would quickly kill nearby low levels, did not require 5 players, and for one of them to die, it was the go-to for this trolling method, leaving the Ritual of Doom a rarely used spell in vanilla, as it was powerful, but too annoying, risky, time-consuming, and did not scale well.
Too annoying, risky, time-consuming. All the things that made Classic good, and they removed all that stuff out of BFA, and now nobody gives a shit.
When Warlocks were already using specific demons for spells and buffs. Because remember, you could not have an enslaved demon and a normal Warlock summoned demon at the same time. Now, during the time from Vanilla WoW to Wrath, there was very little changes to the Doomguard, and the only way to affect its power was through a talent in the demonology tree that made Enslaved Demon more effective, and the Enslaved Demon stronger, as Enslaved Demon, the spell, would actually
the best part about classic
your Enslaved
Warlocks.
Demon.
So
this talent was removed in Wrath of the Lich King, so it really did not help make this spell age well, putting a nail in the coffin for the Ritual of Doom ever being useful in its first iteration.
I don't know why they got rid of that.
The
It was
Doomguard
fucking
was changed
awesome.
in Cataclysm to no longer be summoned by Ritual of Doom,
it was so
removing
sad.
the questline, the book, and the spell. Instead, getting the Summon Doomguard spell, which became a standard big DPS cooldown. A long 45-second duration with a 10-minute cooldown. In contrast to the old version, it became very strong, almost like an army of the dead for the Death Knights. The Doomguard would attack your targets affected by your Bane of Doom or Bane of Agony.
This might be a stupid question. Do DKs still even have Army of the Dead? Do they still even have that spell anymore? Like, I don't know. They do. Okay, I thought just Unholy. So they just removed it for Frost? Wow, okay, great.
Agony spells. With its Doom Bolt ability,
so fucking stupid,
which was basically just Shadow Bolt, but did extra damage if the enemy had low health. In Mists of Pandaria, the demon's duration was increased to 1 minute, making it an even more powerful spell, and no longer needing to attack a target with Bane, instead attacking the Warlock's primary target. They also added the Grimoire of Supremacy talent, which gave you a more powerful version of all your demons. This included the Doomguard, which caused you to instead summon a Terror Guard, able to cast stronger versions of the Doomguard's abilities and do more damage.
I remember this.
Then in Warlords of Draenor, while the Doomguard and many other demons got their models updated, most of the Supremacy demons did not, including the Terror Guard. However, this did not matter long, as in Legion, the Grimoire of Supremacy talent was reworked, and the Terror Guard was removed. The Doomguard was now a 3-minute cooldown
with a
one 25-second duration,
whenever you could have it all the time.
Making it a much more commonly used cooldown and the single target cooldown for all 3 Warlock specs, and could even be used as a permanent pet for Warlocks who took a certain talent. It also had Cripple, which reduced the movement speed of its target, and Shadow Lock, a ranged interrupt. However, it did not last, as with BFA, the Summon Doomguard spell was removed. But the other big summon cooldown, Infernal, stayed on as a destruction-only ability.
Wait, so you can't summon Doomguards anymore in BFA? Is that true? What do you even say? I mean, really, what do you even say?
And the Doomguard's functionality was split into 2 separate demons. The Summon Demonic Tyrant for Demonology, and Summon Darklair for Affliction. So each Warlock spec was given their own big demon summon, and none of them got the Doomguard. This ended the long-lasting Doomguard demon summon, as they are no longer a summonable demon within the game. However, this is not the end of the story, as the spell Doom is in the game.
Okay.
Doom was a spell in Warcraft 3 used by the Pit Lord hero.
Okay.
It afflicted the target with a dot that could not be dispelled, doing 40 damage every second until it died. And upon death, a greater demon would spawn from its corpse. And then in Vanilla WoW, we got Curse of Doom, a 1 minute cooldown, 1 minute duration dot. The special thing about this dot is it only did damage once, at the end of the minute-long curse. And it would do all this damage in one large chunk of damage. And if this damage is what killed the enemy NPC, it would have a chance to summon a Doomguard.
In Burning Crusade, if you guys did not know, Curator had a phase whenever he would take 200% damage. I was in a guild that was so bad that my guild could not meet the DPS check on Curator unless we had 2 Warlocks in the raid pre-casting Curse of Doom 1 minute out from that damage increase phase. That's how bad we were. We were literal fucking dog shit. I joined a tier 6 guild that had killed Illidan, and we go up to Curator, and we're about to pull the boss, and I say, wait, guys, how are we going to kill him? We don't even have any Warlocks. They genuinely didn't even know what I was talking about. Like, it's not even that they didn't think that we needed the strategy. They didn't even know what I was talking about at all. And I explained it to them. And I remember they just completely laughed at me. Like, they laughed at me entirely, and we just killed them in, like, the first damage phase. Or, like, even before that. I forgot which one it was. But we killed the boss in, like, seconds, basically. Because this is, like, a tier 6 guild, and I had, like, brutal gladiator gear. And I remember at that point, I realized how bad my guild really was. It was an illuminating moment for me.
Then it needed to be enslaved, or it would attack randomly, much like the ritual.
What tier 6 guild would be in Kara? Every guild almost did that was in tier 6 would do Kara because they wanted the badge gear, right? They would do badge runs all the time. Like, my guild did tier 6 runs for Karazhan, Karazhan runs in tier 6 gear all the time, just for the badges.
Doom could not be cast on players, so this was not something you can get in PvP, other than the odd NPC
It's unfortunate.
Trickery. However, until patch 1.10, it could be cast onto players under the control of an NPC using a mind control-like ability. So if that happened, you could accidentally kill one of your mind-controlled raid members, then summon a Doomguard in the middle of your raid. For fun.
Hey,
this rarely ever happened in Vanilla, as the Curse of Agony spell dealt much more damage, and there was many curses that needed to be applied before you could even think of applying a DPS curse, as each Warlock could only apply one curse. Curse of Shadows and Elements, Curse of Weakness or Tongues, and then you could apply Agony or Doom, as long as the mobs had the debuff slots for it. During Wrath of the Lich King, the spell now always summoned a Doomguard if the target died from the dot that would give you experience or honor, making these summoned Doomguards a bit more common. However, it could no longer summon a Doomguard off of low-level mobs. Then in Cataclysm, the spell was changed, and it lost its capability to summon Doomguards, instead summoning an Ebon Imp on a 20% chance per tick.
What the fuck?
That could now be cast on players.
That sounds like...
Bane of Doom was renamed to Doom in Mist of Pandaria, and simply became a stronger damage over time ability with unique damage intervals. It also became a demonology-only spell. But through Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria...
People saying the server's up? Is the server actually up? Is it actually up or not? I'll try to relog and see. Okay, let's see if I can get back in. We've got a login queue. It says logging in the game server. Okay, well, we'll just watch the rest of the video.
Pandaria, Warlords of Draenor, and Legion, it showed no soon return to summoning a Doomguard, even though it did see a handful of changes. However, from BFA, it became a talent for Demonology Warlocks, and with this, once again, you were able to summon a Doomguard.
So is this in the game now?
Having no cooldown but a 30-second duration, again dealing damage at the end of its duration, you could have this Doom spell up on as many mobs as you wanted. And after 30 seconds, if the damage killed the mob, it would have a chance to summon a Doomguard. A tiny 5% chance, though. Now, I have been unable to find any Warlocks to confirm this as working, as few times do they ever get a chance to actually test this out in the field.
Nobody even knows if it works because nobody uses the talent. That's great.
That are likely to die from the dot are unlikely to live for 30 seconds.
Wow.
While those who are likely to live 30 seconds,
why am I not surprised?
Like bosses, are unlikely to have the dot be the killing blow. So the Doomguard has sort of been lost to history with BFA. The only way to get it now is far too unlikely, and possibly not even working. From Warcraft 1 as the very first demon, to almost 25 years later, the Doomguard has been a staple of the Warlock. Hopefully we can see the demons return in the future as the powerful spell slinger it once was.
Yeah, we will, because we'll be able to play Classic
and that's the
again.
end of the video. If you like this video, I have a huge playlist of other history of things in WoW, just like this one, as well as history videos of nearly all the other Warlock demon pets, which will be linked at the end of this video.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's like one of the sad things, is whenever they take something out of the game that's been in the game for such a long time. I don't really know why, but whenever I see something like that, it always disappoints me. Because I just wish that there were more things like that in the game that we could do, and I don't know, I feel like the game has... It doesn't really feel like the game evolves anymore. I don't know, maybe that's like a way for me to put it. It doesn't feel like the game evolves. It's like just all the same stuff.